Hello, welcome to this video about how to create a header for your website. Some people, they want to create their own header, and unfortunately quite often it costs a lot of money to go out there and outsource someone to create a header for your website, whether it be a squeeze page or your main website. So I'm here today to show you how you can make a fairly simple header yourself in something like Photoshop. Shall we get started? Yeah, let's do that, shall we? Okay, so first of all we want to do is we want to create a workspace, our header workspace, and what we have to do is go up to File in Photoshop and click New, and this brings up this box here, and the width here, 900 is a really good width to have. Give it a title if you want. I'll just call it Test Banner or Header. Give it a width of 900 is a good size, especially if you're creating like a squeeze page. And the height of about 250 is fine as well. Just click OK, and that's what you get. Here's your workspace. This is what you'll get. Now the first thing we want to do is I'd like to bring in an image and pop the image on top. So what we've got over here in the background over here, if you can imagine, what we're going to get now is another layer, and we're going to try and picture it as pieces of paper. You've got a piece of paper on the table. I'm now going to get another piece of paper, which is my image, and put it on top of the other piece of paper. And that's how Photoshop, that's how you build up your project, if you like, in Photoshop. You do layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer. Okay, so we have a background at the moment. Now I could change the color to that, but I'm not going to just yet. But first thing I want to do is go and get an image. So I'm just going to find an image on my desktop on my computer to pop in there. So give me a second. Right, the one I'm going to use is this one, so I'm just going to drag it in, and there it is. Now a little trick for you for this: if you hold the shift key down on your computer and then grab a corner, it stays in proportion. The actual picture stays in proportion, so you can actually make it quite big. If I grab that and drag it over there and drag it up there, and then I'm just going to move it up there and see what we get. Let's drag it out there a bit more. So the picture doesn't distort, basically. You don't get it all horrible and squashy. So if I just let go of a shift key now and grab the top bit here and pull it down, look, you see the picture starts going all squashy and horrible. So let's just pull it up there, because I don't mind the trees have gone out the top of the banner. That's absolutely fine. Let's put it to about, let's move the bottom one down there. Yeah, that's fine like that. There you go. So that's fine. Just hit the enter button and that will place it. Okay, so that's placed that now on top, and you can see over here on the right hand side we've got the background there, but then we've also got this image which I've plonked on top of the background, so it's like a piece of paper on top of a piece of paper now. Okay, now at the moment the banner looks a bit boring, doesn't it? We've got all these square corners, so what I want to do is I want to make a rounded corner. So this is how you make a rounded corner. Over here on the left we have a tool called the rectangle tool. Okay, and there's a rounded rectangle tool. If you click on the little sort of little corner of each one of these, it brings down a little drop down menu, you can see like that. But the one we want is this one here. Okay, and it's just above the hand, and I'm using Photoshop CS6, by the way. Here we've got a rectangle tool, so I'm selecting the rounded rectangle tool. Now this is important. Up here there's something called radius. Okay, and the radius is how round the corners will be. And I'm going to give you a demonstration. If I click on this here, you get this little message come up. Just click OK. I've got a radius of 35. If I do that and make a rectangle, look how round these corners are. Now if I change that to 10, look what happens. See how round the corners are now? It's more rectangular. Now if I went to say 75, I'd be practically creating a circle. So 35 is a good, I like 35. 35 is a good size. I'm going to give you another tip now. If you, I want to get rid of these two white rectangles I've just created. If you press Control Alt and Z, it undoes your last thing. If you do it again, Control Alt Z, or just keep tapping Z while keeping your fingers down on Control and Alt, it keeps undoing. So let me show you that again quickly. Look, make lots of circles. If I do Control Alt Z Z Z Z Z, yeah, and it just gets rid of them, undoes your last mistake, if you like. It's good tool to know that, or good shortcut. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to select this tool here, but I want a new layer first. So down here, there's this button here, which is a new layer, and you can see here now it's created a new layer. So that's like another piece of paper. Okay, picture it as pieces of paper. I've got my rounded tool. I'm now going to, making sure I've selected that layer, I'm just going to put that now on top like that. That's fine. Now this is a move tool up here, this top one here. I can move that about now, look. So I just want to put that in just like that. That's absolutely fine. So the thing I want to do now is I want to actually press Control and then click on this layer here. So Control and click, and you see now it's selected this layer, this piece of paper if you like, yeah? Now what I want to do now is I want to trash that like so. Hang on, that didn't. Helps if I actually put it in the trash. Okay, now can you see it's still left with this out. This is a selected, it's kind of still there. But what I don't want to have that, I want to select the other bit, this top bit here. So what I want to do is go up here to select and then inverse select, and that selects that bit there. And now what I want to do is go Control X, and that deletes it. So now I've got some rounded corners on my banner here, okay, which is pretty cool, isn't it? And you know, I can move that around still if I want to. Just make sure it's lined up, move it up a little bit, just so it's about that much showing. That's fine. So I've got some rounded corners. So now what I want to do now is I'm going to change the background colour. Okay, and you do that by double clicking just sort of over here somewhere in this grey area. Okay, it will want to make it, instead of a background, it will make it into a layer. That's fine. So double click on there and you get this box turn up here. And now I'm going to change the colour, and as soon as I click on this colour overlay, you see it goes red, the background goes red, and I want to click a blue colour. So if you click in this box here, click a bluish colour, that's fine, that's a fairly deep blue, just like that, and OK. Now I've just noticed there is actually a small line here, and what that means is basically I didn't quite line that up. There you go, so I've just had to move it along. That's fine. So now we've got this background colour. So it's starting to take shape, it's starting to look a little bit cool, but you'll see why I've put this colour in a little while. Now, moving on, because this video is going on a bit now, it's 10 minutes. I want to put another rectangle down here, so but a square one, and I'm going to put this down a bottom here. Just like that, that's fine. You see this white line's turned up now? You can just about see that. Actually, hang on, let me undo that. I want to do a new layer and do this like so. That's fine like that. Just move it up a little bit. So I'm going to change the colour of it. I'm going to make it, I don't know, not red. Let's make it orange, because it stands out a bit better then. It makes it look, it's not too in your face, is it? Now I could actually round the edges off a little bit if I wanted to make it kind of more, you know, bevel the edges a little bit. That's fine for now. It's not too crazy. Now the next thing I want to do is put some text along here, and here there's a text button here, this one with a T on it, and this will allow you to create a box like this. So just drag and create a box, and now I want to put some I'll put anything in here. Welcome to the Love Beach. And we can't see this because that's probably because the wording's too big. Let me just quickly, move this. There it is. Yeah, it's too big, the word's too big, so double click on that. So when you double click on that, it highlights all the words. If you then hit there and using the up and down arrow on your keyboard, just tap down, and I want to get that to a size which actually fits in here. Let me zoom in, so Alt and mouse scroll to zoom in and just move that. It's easier to, there you go, that's better. That's better. Right, Alt and scroll, mouse scroll to come back out again. Okay, so welcome to the Love Beach. Okay, I don't know, I'm just making this stuff up as I go along. Maybe you want to create a website about beaches. Hey, I don't know. Now in here you can change the color of your text to whatever you like. Now this is a great one. This one's stroke. This makes, look, it outlines it with black or whatever color you choose, but black. Put it on about 1 or 2 because look, it goes a bit crazy if you make it too big. 1 or 2. That's 1. That's 2. Let's put it on 2. Welcome to, that's red, it's horrible, it's a bit in your face, isn't it, that red? So let's change the colour again, just to make it a little bit, so it's not so crazy in your face. What about white? What does white look like? Oh, I don't know. That'll do. That's better, like a light blue colour, that's fine. Okay, so we've got some text there, let's put some more text in. But somewhere up here, let's just say you are doing something about beaches or holidays or something. You could just put, you know, something like relax at one of our beaches. I don't know, anything. Relax at one of our beaches. Let's put superb. Relax at one of our superb beaches. Now let's just make this text relax at one of our beaches. Let's just make this, let's change this a little bit, make it a little bit sticky outy. Let's change it to red. Let's have it sticking out a bit more. Let's make it beveled. You could actually, instead of doing it like that, have it as gradient. Gradient's quite cool, so let's make a gradient. Let's change the colour of a gradiency. Let's have it and then on the other side, I don't know. That looks a bit pants actually, doesn't it? Hey, that'll do. You know, I'm not going to be too crazy with this at the moment, but what you can then change the size, make it stick out a little bit more. Now, here's a great little thing you can do. Let's just move it into a place like that. Now what you can do is, quite simply, is create some sparkles for your words to make them stand out a little bit. Okay, so here's how you do that. Let's create some sparkles, shall we? So the first thing we need to do is we want to go to the brush tool, which is here. We want to change that to about 4, like about there, 4 pixels. Make sure you've got a soft selection there. Hardness is down on 0%, that's fine. Now opacity needs to be on 70% and flow on 100%. Once you've got that, then select the pen tool, which is the one which looks like a pen, and it's actually got pen tool, the very top one. And all you want to do is left click and then left click again to make a line. That makes a line. Then you go over here to the layer which you've just created and then select path there. And here you get this work path. Right click on that, go down to stroke path. This brings up this little box here. Make sure brush is selected and simulate pressure. Click OK, and you get this thing here. You can't really see it at the moment. Let me move it. Let me move it out of the way. And you get this kind of line. That's perfect. Now, to duplicate that, just press Ctrl J. You see it's got a little bit thicker. Just move it. Oh, look, we've got 2 now. Let's do another one. Ctrl J. Let's move it like that, and Ctrl J again. So now we've got 4. Now what we want to do is select the pen tool again. Hit the pen tool. We want to go down to delete anchor point text, and then just click there. Click there. That gets rid of that line, that horrible line. Now we're left with these lines that we've created. Okay, so now what we want to do is over here you can see it's, when we created each one of them, it created a new layer. Okay, so each one of these is a layer, and if I move that around, there's one, so that's 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 new layers because we've got 4 new things. So what we want to do is we want to get the bottom one and put it, we'll just put it there for now. Then I'll get the next one, which is there, and what I'm going to do is press Control T, and now I'm going to swivel that round, like so, hit enter, and lay that across that. Oh, I think you're going to see what's happening. Now the next layer, I'm going to grab the next one here, see that's that one there, Control T, I'm going to make this one smaller, oh, about that small, hit enter. Now what I want to do is Control T, I'm going to swivel it around again so it's there, hit enter. So it goes across like that, and then the last one here, Control T, again this one, make it a little smaller, about that size, Control T, make it vertical like that, hit enter, and look, we've got ourselves a sparkle. Isn't that good? Now if you want, you can actually go to the brush tool and just increase that from 4 pixels to 10 pixels, hit enter, and then just put a little dot in between, in the middle there, just dot it once in the middle. Okay, now all we want to do now is these layers here, I'm going to duplicate all 4, I'm going to merge all 4 layers, so just control, so select one, put down, shift, select, so you get all 3, right click, and then go merge layers, and that's put all of them into one. And now when I move it, I move the whole lot. Okay, and now look, I can put this over my letters and create myself a little sparkle. And if I want to duplicate that, just Control J, Control J, I was right. And there's another one, Control J, and there's another one. Okay, so we've got 4. Now if you Control T, you can make them a little bigger. Don't make it too big because it goes pixely and horrible. Or you can make it smaller, just so they don't look exactly the same. Also Control T, maybe just turn one slightly. And then we can put that on there. You may want the wording at the back to be a slightly different colour, but hey, that's fine. And there you go, we have ourselves a banner, a simple banner. You can add all sorts in here, you can do whatever you want. I'm kind of trying to do this. This video is now almost 20 minutes long. Now, the reason I put this blue, okay, if you're creating a squeeze page, okay, you may want this here. What you would like is it to look kind of this a bit separate. I'll show you. What we've got is a great tool called Composer. Now you may not have heard of Composer, but let me fire it up. This is Composer. Okay, now in Composer, this is how people create HTML pages or web pages, and they upload them to their host provider. And it's a great tool. It's free as well. You can go and download it. So the first thing we want to do in here is we want to, actually, let's quickly go back to Photoshop. What we want to do is go to layer 0, which was our background where we made this colour, and we want to take a note of this colour here. Okay, the HTML colour if you like. So if you just click on there, and this here is the colour there. And don't forget there's a hash, we need that. So just copy that colour there, and remember there's a hash to go in front as well. Okay, just cancel that. And then what we do is we go back into Composer and we want to make the background the same colour. I think you know where this is going, don't you? Okay, and the background is this one here. We've got a couple of buttons here, one's for text and one's for background. This background is the white little square there. Hit that, and in here, you can see here it's got hex. Just go hash and then paste that number in we had before. Oi, look at that, and it's the same colour. Yeah, and we know now that's exactly the same colour. Now all we want to do is we want to bring our image in. So the first thing we need to do is we need to save this, our header, our simple header, and this is a simple header, guys. So let's just save this. So go save as, I'm just going to call this test banner, and then click save. I'm going to save it as a JPEG as well. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, so I've saved that now to my desktop as a JPEG, not as a Photoshop. Okay, you need to save it as a JPEG. So I've saved that. Let's go back into Composer quickly. Now in here, I want to insert this button up there, insert image, browse for my on my desktop. There it is, test banner. Click OK. Oh, hang on, get rid of. I don't want alternate text in it. And there's our banner. Move it to the center, and look at that. You see that now blends in to the top of this background, which is really what we want. Now what we want to do is quickly put in a table. Now a table, if you click on Insert Table and then Precisely, we create this, and the width we put 900, which is exactly the same width as our banner here. Oh, hang on, it's gone over the top. We don't want it up there. We want it down here. So let's try again. Insert Table, 900. There we go. Pull it to the middle, and that sits directly under there. Now, if I just do that, now I don't want my table to be blue. I want the background to be white. So right-click in the table, Table and Background Color, select Table, click White. Okay, now we have a white background. Now, the one thing I don't want is a little gap here. So click on the image, right-click, down to Image Properties, and it pulls up this box. Click on Appearance tab, and here is a drop-down box, Align Text to Image. Just click in the center, click OK, and it closes that little gap in quite nicely. And now, here you can then start writing your, this is a test HTML page. There you go. And this is where people would then start creating a squeeze page. Something like a squeeze page or something. You can make the text bigger, big as you like. There's a little button here, choose highlight color for text. You can change the color of the text here, so let's make that red. We can bold it, underline it, you know, and away you go. And you can then create yourself a squeeze page. Okay, so that's it. That's all I'm going to show you. This video's gone on forever, isn't it? 24 minutes, but there you go. So this is how you create a simple banner, and then you can use something like Composer to create a squeeze page. Now, if you want to know more about how to create web pages, and even down to the point of making money online, that's what I teach, and there's a link below this video which you can go to and check out my membership site. Okay, take care everybody, bye bye.